So today's video is all about Redmi Note 5 Pro's manual camera settings. Already you might be aware of several settings that is available on the Note 5 Pro. You may be using that, but wait, there are several settings, there are several tweakings that you need to do. So once you do that, you will get really awesome images, and it really changes the way you capture the images. So stay tuned, watch the full video. If you like this video, if you get some information out of this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content. I've already made some DSLR tips and tricks video. Watch that, guys, it might be helpful to you. So yeah, let's start with the Redmi Note 5 Pro's manual mode and what are the things that you need to change. Let's look at that. So guys, just as you open the camera, this is the usual interface you will see with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and there is a tap to focus here. Now how to use this tap to focus, there is a little trick here to change the exposure setting. So what happens is, say that your foreground elements is on the darker side, what you have to do is tap on it to focus, and once you tap on that, there is a little arrow marks here. So you just hold that arrow mark, and when you just move the slider up, you will increase the exposure value. So this is where you get the exposure value to change, and it will really boost the shadows so that you get proper detail and proper bright images. So what other thing happens is, even the highlights will get blown up, so don't increase it to too much value, just increase it slightly so that you are getting properly evenly lit images. So once you are confident of that, just click the picture. So this is how you use it. The next setting is the HDR. As you guys already know how to use the HDR, I have made several videos about the mobile photography, please watch that on my channel. So this is how the shades of black and shades of white work with the HDR. So once in HDR, click the picture, that's it, there is nothing much to change over here. So guys, once you tap on these three stripes, you will see that there is a straighten. Instead of giving the grid lines, instead of giving electro level meter, Xiaomi has given you straighten, which will live show you how the framing is straight, how the framing is weird, how you are holding the angle. So depending on that, you can change the angle and make sure it is actually fitting in the frame so that you get straighter images horizontal to the level. So that's how you use the straighten mode. The next mode we'll be looking at is the tilt shift. And as you guys know already, I think most of you use this tilt shift. If you are capturing particular subject of, say, flowers or a person, then you can use this as a bokeh mode as well. So this really shines when you are using it for a particular subject. So this parallel thing will work in landscape, or say if you are capturing from the bridge and you want that only street to be captured in detail, you can use this parallel. So that way you can utilize the parallel mode. So you have circle, you have parallel, and again you disable that. There is a timer, I don't have to explain that. There is a scene mode here. What this does is, it will give you already set algorithms. So they have software implemented on how to capture landscape. So for example, if I chose the landscape, there will be little saturated images, you get more greens, more blues. So that way you can actually capture good images when you just select the scene. Instead of just doing point and shoot, what you can do is go to the scene mode, and depending on what scene you are capturing, you just tap on that and you'll get really good images. Even there is a night mode, so it works well so that it gives you evenly lit images. There is a night portrait as well. So there is a beach, there is a snow, there is sunset mode, there is fireworks, there are flowers. So this is how you can use the scene mode. There is always auto otherwise. So the next mode is HSD. This really works in night situation, night environment. What you can do is you enable, and when you capture, make sure you are holding it very steadily so that you don't shake the picture and get blurry images, especially in the night conditions. You enable the HSD and very stably hold, and you capture the image. What happens is, it will capture multiple images and stacks it to give you very nice exposed detailed images. So that is when you use the HHD. There is a new beautify mode here, and if you tap on it, once again you get beautify pro. What it does is, it will give you extra bokeh effect when you use the beautify pro. So that is how you can utilize that. Again, it works only when you are capturing subject very closely. And there is dual camera watermark. Now come on, there is nothing setting here to change your watermark and enable your name. So you cannot edit the watermark. You can just tap on this to get Redmi Note 5 Pro's watermark. That's about it. So only these are the settings that is available on the three stripes. There are filters here. Some of the filters are really good, some are just plain Jane, nothing really works out of it. maybe for a particular situation it might work. You just have to do it trial and error. Now if you go to the Pro mode here, there is nothing really that they have given you to change inside the Pro mode, which is a bummer I would say for Note 5 Pro, because the name itself says it is a Note 5 Pro, but you are not getting Pro mode, and you get the Pro mode in other smartphones such as Honor 9 Lite for just 10,000 rupees. You can really customize the features, but that's not the case on the Note 5 Pro. You only get the white balance, and that too you cannot customize the number. You just select on the default settings like this. So depending on the situation, depending on the scene, if you want, if you think that the colors are not accurate, then just do some testing with the white balance, then that should help you in certain situations, not all, because you cannot change the numbers. The next one is the ISO. I suggest you leave this ISO to auto itself, because it does good job when you set to auto. If you manually change it, you don't really have anything else to change here. So leaving to auto itself is a good thing I would say, because there is nothing really to customize. Come on Xiaomi, you could have given some Pro mode here. You call it a Pro and you don't have any Pro mode enabled on this camera. Maybe with the software update they could really give you, but still I think they won't release an update. And there is panorama mode, there is square. See, instantly you can capture square mode instead of changing the aspect ratio. You just can go to the square and capture square mode for some Instagram pictures, so you don't have to crop it later. There is a portrait mode. See, now if you are in portrait mode from the rear camera, already you can see that it is detecting this as a particular subject and everything else is background blurred. Then what you can do is tap on this portrait, you get the crop and extra depth. So this is really awesome. Inside the portrait mode, you just tap on this again, you will get, for example, if you want to capture some burst shots of a person, then you can really use this feature and capture some really good images. That is what I'll be showing you with an example, guys. So this is how you use the portrait mode. There is the photo that we have already seen. There is the video mode. There is short video where you can capture little clips. So you can capture short clips with the short video. You can take I think 10 seconds video with the short clip. Yeah, that's how it does. 10 seconds for your Snapchat or Instagram. That's how you do it. Now the most important interesting thing on this Redmi Note 5 Pro is inside the settings here. So if you tap on the stripes, you get the settings. You just go to the settings here. So inside the camera settings, save location info. If you want your pictures to have a GPS tag, then use this save location info. If you want to enable camera sounds, you can do that. Now what I am trying to show you is enabling this grid line. So tap on this show grid line. Now it will really help you composite the picture very nice. So if you want to compose your pictures really nice, use this grid line and make sure everything is horizontal, and use this straighten mode so that you get the really perfect images every single time. So this is how you use the grid mode. Again, going to the settings here, as you can see, save previous mode. If you want your camera to be directly onto that mode, you can use this save previous mode. It works really well. Add timestamp on photos, and focus and shoot. Tap to focus, then tap again to capture the picture. And there is scan QR code, enhance low light photos automatically. Press and hold shutter button. That means if you just tap and hold shutter button, it will capture really quick images in a, I think in just a second it will capture around 10 shots. So that is how you use the burst shot. There is a mirror front camera. If you are seeing flipped images of yourself, then you use the mirror front camera. There is a camera frame. Now here you can change the aspect ratio. If you want to go full mode 18:9, you have here, you have the 16:9, but then the image size will be a little bit reduced, so make sure you know that. Now interesting thing that I want to show you is the first thing you need to change inside this camera settings is to change the anti-banding. Now this will give you some flicker effect if you are using the 50 Hz rate, so make sure you are using 60 Hz of refresh rate. So this is really important. If you didn't know, now is the time to change that. And after you have done that, yeah, as you can see, there is a fingerprint shutter. If you want to use the fingerprint as a shutter button, you have the option here. So enable that and just use the fingerprint scanner to click the pictures. The important thing that I am really stressing upon is this use of contrast, saturation and sharpness. Now I have made several videos. If you haven't watched that, you can watch that. Now what you have to do is to little bit make sure that the contrast is on the higher side. That means you tap on the high and you can customize the saturation, keep that to high as well, and sharpness to high. Now this way you get really sharp images with little bit of saturation added to it, making a very pleasing image. Now if you didn't know that, now is the time to change it, and leave me a comment in the comment section below as to how your pictures are coming now, because this really really affects the image quality whenever you take pictures with your Note 5 Pro. So if you didn't know that, now is the time to change. So make sure you have kept the contrast a little bit high, because this Note 5 Pro captures images with a low contrast as I have seen compared to other cameras. So make sure it is set to high. Don't change it too much, but just change these things and see how the picture is coming. And there is one more thing to note down: auto exposure setting. See, frame average, when you are capturing landscape, you keep the frame average. Center weight, as the name suggests, when you have something subject around the center, you use this metering. And when you are capturing close-up images such as flowers and such things, make sure your auto exposure settings is set to spot metering. So this way the metering really works and changes the way you take the pictures. So now is the time to change and really experiment with the image quality of this Note 5 Pro. So make sure you change that and take pictures, guys. Let me know in the comments as well. So these were the settings that you really need to know about the Note 5 Pro. I hope this video helped you in taking better pictures. Stay tuned, stay subscribed. I'm making a lot of interesting videos. See you all in another one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.